Hello, hello, everyone. How's everybody doing tonight? See Ginger Girl, hello, hello. Brenda Joe, hello. Anybody else that's out there, welcome in. We are going to go over a few different things tonight. Um, I opted against not finishing that video with T-Rev, just simply because we ended up talking about other things. So, which was okay, nothing wrong with that, but it just seemed like we weren't, as a whole, really interested in it. So, um, I thought we'd just move on. Um, there were a couple of things I wanted to go over. I did a um, video earlier about them catching the guy um, who unalived the CEO from United Healthcare, Brian Thompson. So his name was Luigi Mangione. Um, and yeah, they actually have him in custody. He was found with um, the fake ID that he used, the fake ID from New Jersey that he used at the hostel when he checked in, right? Um, and the clothes that he was wearing, the masks that he was wearing on the day on December 4th when he unalived this man. Um, so yeah, in this picture here, you can see those clothes. Um, and they already had the backpack because they found that in Central Park. They also found him with the gun. Okay. So what was really interesting, and when I thought, well, I should report on this, right? And so, they hadn't named him yet or anything. So I was like, okay, well, I'll do it. And then right after, you know, it aired, it came out that his name and that they had all that stuff on him. And I was like, oh, of course, of course, just my luck. Um, I did want to show you, they believe that this was his YouTube channel. And I want to just kind of share this video with you real quickly. It's kind of scary. Um, so if you look at the bottom, the truth, Luigi Mangione. If you see this, I'm already under arrest. So he had it timed. He must have had it scheduled for broadcast. And then if he didn't get arrested, he was going to reschedule probably, right? Um, if you see this, I'm already, yeah. There's a little bit more at the bottom, and once this timer quits, keep an eye at the bottom right of the screen. So watch the bottom right. Soon, and December 11th flashes. All is scheduled. Be patient. Bye for now. Isn't that weird? It seems like it was him. I'm there are imposters out there, right? Um, no, he didn't look happy in his mugshot, and I'll show you another quick clip. And I got this clip from, I don't know how you say his name, Ikadmel. He, you know, I have to say I like him. So here he is, getting out of the police car. He does not look happy. That smile's not there. That gorgeous smile that he has, it was not on him. Really sad. That's the end of that one. So yeah, I was like, huh, where's your happy little smile now, buddy? You know, where's that smile now? Um, it seems as though, from things that I've gathered all afternoon and kind of watching different things, I watched It Could Melt for a while, but it seems as though he comes from a wealthy family. They have um, ties to healthcare. Well, looks like that he had back surgery. And on his Twitter, which I didn't get a picture of, I should have, um, was an X-ray of someone who looked like they had like pins put in their back. And from everything that we're hearing, ever since his back surgery, he's like disappeared, and his family's been worried about him, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, a lot going on here that, I'm sure more and more news will, well, hello, Victoria. More and more news will come out, as it goes on. Um, this was that account, and it just has that one video on it. So, um, I don't know, he has a bachelor's and a master's. So, and I've heard that he is very, very intelligent. And do you see that picture up there of him and a McDonald's box? Where was he found this morning? McDonald's. I mean, I don't know, guys. Um, Maybe he just likes McDonald's. Maybe that's not a coincidence. I don't know. I have no idea. Um, but I just heard somebody. No, I'm not going to say that. Um, but it, a lot of times in true crime, coincidences are not coincidences, right? Um, it was kind of like when I did the video on them finding the reciprocating saw for Suzanne Simpson. Um, I mentioned, I just said something like, "Oh, that doesn't sound good, guys," because everything else that they had found was kind of related to what he could have done with her body. And then you hear that a reciprocating saw was found among those things as well. That I said it was scary, right? And an hour later, or I don't know, a couple hours later, they said they found DNA, her DNA on the saw. So, no coincidence. When police tell you a certain thing, you got to kind of figure that that's all involved, right? But yeah, just so much going on with that case, and they're finding a lot out, as they go. So he was arraigned tonight, um, on those charges. I guess we'll probably hear more later. I think they were going to have a press conference, but I wasn't watching that. I jumped on Justin's live until it was time to come over here. Um, so I was trying to think if there was something else I was going to go over on about Sebastian. I don't think so. Um, so, there's been a lot of chatter about the video, the green hoodie guy. Um, and I've let everybody pretty much convince me that it is a guy. I really felt it looked like a woman, but people are saying he had his mustache and this kind of thing. So, okay, I'll go with it. um, what I find funny, I don't know how important he is, right? I don't know. We don't know that. Because all we know is that they kind of chatted. I don't know about you guys, but I had a hard time seeing any kind of an exchange. I saw her put her hand on the car. Um, but you know, I don't, I can't see that good in those kinds of situations. It's hard for me to pick things out like that. And so I don't know that there was an exchange. We only have to go by what was said, right? And if it happened, it happened. But I couldn't see it. Okay, basically. Um, so we don't know how important Green Hoodie Guy is. Should he be talked to? Absolutely. He should be. Because he was one of the last ones to see Sebastian, right? So he should be talked to. Um, how important all that is, I don't know. But here's the thing. Here's what's bothering me. That picture has been out a few days now. That person knows who they were. Why aren't they coming forward? That's my question. Why aren't they coming forward? So, Victoria, I'm not either, actually. So I wasn't chatting, but I was listening. Yeah. Um, the press conference is on Fox News. Yeah. I was watching Fox News. Fox News and Ickadmel, if that's how you say his name. If anybody else knows how to say it, um, let me know. But yeah, it is very hard to see. Oh, hi, Canine. Didn't see you come in. Sorry about that, hon. So, yeah, it's very hard to see even blown up on that um, video. Even the stills, very difficult to see him, very difficult to make out. I know a lot of people were trying to make out what's on the front of his shirt. Well, you know what? That doesn't really matter, does it? What doesn't matter what's on the front of his shirt? He needs to come forward and just tell police what he knows, what they talked about. My question is, why isn't he? So that, to me, it's not the fact that he was there that, to me, that's important. The fact that he's not coming forward, to me, is important. And no, I didn't make bread today. I don't have any of the ingredients. I need to get paid before I can go get that stuff up. Um, right, Victoria? Yeah. So what's important is that he hasn't come forward. If he has nothing to hide, there's no reason not to come forward. If it had been me and maybe I was in Katie's way, first of all, though, you'd think she would have waited until they came through if they were passing between the cars. But she didn't. So that does tell me she knew him, right? So if if that had been me, I would have said, "Oh, that was me. That was me. What do you need? I'll help." But I care about Sebastian, and I'm sure any of you would have done the same thing. But so that bothers me. That bothers me that Green Hoodie has not come forward. Why do we have to hunt Green Hoodie down? What does Green Hoodie have to hide? That's my question. I don't know. Um, So what I was going to do was go ahead and play the next videos. There was another T-Rub video in there. I just kind of skipped over it. I know that that's kind of a sore point with people because of, and I think that's why that first video just wasn't flying. We ended up just talking about the case and stuff. But so I skipped. There was another one after that, and the reason that I'm skipping him is not because I have anything against him, nothing like that. Okay, let's just make that clear right off the top, because I don't bash creators. Okay, I don't do that. And I'm only bringing him up because we were watching that video. So, most people know that there was some things that went on between T-Rub and Seth, right? And so because of that, a lot of people don't like him. I'm not going to get into what happened because it's not relevant for Sebastian's case. I really don't want to. I want to stick to facts. I don't want to stick to gossip and garbage, right? Because there's just no sense. Unless it had something to do with Sebastian's case, which, I mean, it affected his case, but it in a way, but it's more gossip than it is anything else. It doesn't really help the case to talk about that one. So what I want to do, we'll play. The first one was Vinnie Politan. This happened on the 24th of April, guys. It's not very long. Vinnie had started chatting about, he had kind of a dual thing on his channel that day. So he was talking about Madeline Soto before, and I just kind of put it to where he starts talking about Sebastian, and Seth should be on, according to what I know. So let's share that. It's not very long at all. And make sure everybody can see that all right. Okay.
We'll see you again. So February 26th is when Madeline was reported missing. That same day, February 26th, another child was reported missing. Sebastian Rogers, out of Tennessee. You've seen all the developments in the Madeline Soto case. They're not great developments, but there are developments. But as we sit here tonight, the search for Sebastian Rogers continues. He has not been found. His dad will join us live next.
There is no evidence to support foul play is involved in the disappearance of Sebastian.
But at this point, you don't rule it out?
We're not ruling anything out.
Okay. Same date that Madeline Soto went missing, February 26th, Sebastian Rogers was reported missing. He's a 15-year-old. Take a look at his picture, please, folks. That's the important part here.
Okay. Couple of things quickly before we continue on in this. Sheriff Craddock did speak today. I did want to say that. Let me see. So he said that it's not a cold case. It's an active and ongoing investigation. So he has been on the case since Sebastian disappeared on February 26th. He said, since then, hundreds of tips have been investigated. To date, they still have no confirmed sightings. Rumors continue to run rampant online from less than credible sources. And Craddock said, well, it's real easy to sit on social media and make those comments. Craddock said investigators deal with facts, seeking evidence and hard leads. There have been few official updates in recent months, but the sheriff said investigators meet weekly about the case. He said, I've been transparent. There's some information that can't be released because it could be prejudicial to the case, and a successful resolution is my ultimate goal. I don't know that he's been transparent, but I think he could have given more tips, and he had not talked to Seth since April until, was it yesterday? These days are running all together, guys, when he talked to Seth finally and gave Seth some hope. The emergency manager's director, Ken Widener, says there's not a day that goes by that I don't think about Sebastian. Widener has headed up search efforts around Sebastian's home and beyond from the very beginning. It's his team that stands ready to act on any credible lead that comes from the tip line. We have canines on standby, search teams, and drones ready, and we go. So I just wanted to bring that up, that Craddock did finally speak out for a change. So those guys are, the emergency, they're on standby. So the emergency management director is on standby, Ken Widener. All right. The other thing I wanted to point out, which a lot of people are pointing out, so if you look at Sebastian's neck right here on the still, right in front of you, many people have said that that looks like bruising, okay? I don't know, right? I mean, I don't know. Things can be photoshopped and made to even look like bruises, but there have been several different pictures shown of this, and that does look like bruising around his neck there. Whether that's true or not, I don't know. But this, I believe they said, was a very recent picture. Like from that weekend. And there's been controversy surrounding that as well. People have said that they were told it was an old picture. I don't know, Hi, Catamere. Good to see you. Rosebud, awesome to see you. Rosebud says, it's concerning to me that the mother has not come forward, even just to say, I miss you, I love you, and we will find you. I know. I agree. Yeah. Craddock also said that. Not a lead, not a person of interest, nothing. But keep in mind, law enforcement knows a lot more than what we know. And for whatever reason, Seth came away from this latest meeting with them very encouraged. So, sounds like he outdid himself, but at least he finally spoke out. More importantly, they talked to Seth. Yes. Law enforcement doesn't have to let us know anything, right? I mean, they just don't. They don't have to let us know anything. But I thought that there was some kind of regulation or something with Amber Alerts that law enforcement is supposed to give regular updates. Is a regular update, how long is that? April to December? Is that a regular update? I don't think so. I would think at least once a month. I don't know. canine. That was taken Saturday. Yeah, that's what I thought. You could compare the haircut of the TRH and this one if this was the same weekend. Who's to say well, I mean, you could, but who's to say that you didn't get a haircut on Saturday after this picture? Or it's combed differently? I mean, I don't know. I'm just throwing things out there, trying to look at all possibilities. But let's continue on listening to what they had to say here.
A 15-year-old with autism last seen at home in Hendersonville, Tennessee. That's near Nashville. His mother, Katie Proudfoot, discovered he was missing from his room. Around 6 o'clock in the morning is when she says he went missing. There's like no evidence of anything here. So please take a look at the picture. Go on your social media and find a picture of him and share it, because we've got to share this everywhere. Important note also, April 26th at 7:30 will be Light the Path for Sebastian. Memorial Park in Hendersonville. It's on Main Street. The bridge will be lit up in Sebastian's favorite color, which is green. And joining us right now, special guest, Sebastian's dad, Seth Rogers, is back with us. Seth, thanks for coming on tonight. Let's start with what we're looking at here, Light the Path. Give us a little more information about it, what it's about, and I want to know why green was or is Sebastian's favorite color.
He just likes green. It's been his favorite color for as long as, one of the first things, conversations is like, what's your favorite color? And he chose green, and has stuck with it. So for the last, 12 years, it's always been green with him. So hopefully we can light the path in green, and they wouldn't let me get a Batman signal. So we'll just go ahead and use glow sticks and light bags, and it'll be 2 months.
2 months. 2 months is too long. I mean, two hours is too long to have a child missing. Another announcement that I saw you made is that you are now working with Chris and Katie. Chris, his stepfather, and Katie, his mom. So all of you are now putting aside your differences and working together?
Chris approached me at the vigil last weekend and asked if, we could drop our egos and work together to find Sebastian. And I told him as long as he's willing to help, I'll take any of the help I can get. My ego is not enough to stop me from accepting help to try to find my son.
And how is that developed? Is the help there from Chris and Katie?
I've been sending Chris and Katie emails for things that I've already have in the works. I'm currently waiting on Chris to approve what I've sent to him. If he doesn't approve it, then,
What type of things are we talking about?
I've got a canine handler that is extremely overqualified, has several different background clearances, classifications. Their dogs are everything from cadaver to narcotics to live tracking, bomb sniffing. The dogs are exquisitely trained. I've got them to come in to see if we can actually find anything that maybe Sumner County Sheriff's Office wasn't able to get. I've got a couple different organizations that are search and rescue qualified that are 501c out of Texas. I've actually spoken to an individual who wants to be our spokesperson for all three of us, so that way there's no quote unquote mudslinging or anything like that that will speak for us as a unified front.
I think that's a great development. I think that's
all this stuff that I've been working on, and I've sent it to him. I'm just waiting on him to get back with me and be on the same plan with me to find Sebastian.
Now, I also saw Katie spoke on a program over the weekend, and one thing that stuck out to me is she said she's getting daily updates from law enforcement. Are you getting daily updates from law enforcement?
No, sir.
Get Vinnie's eyes.
And is there a reason? Are they not they don't want to communicate with you, or is there?
They are communicating with my private investigators. That way there is no longer me having to take time out of my day while I'm sitting there searching, trying to gather resources and planning on the next action to take. My private investigators are speaking with them.
And how many PIs do you have on the case?
Currently, I have 2.
And I'm hearing you talk about private investigators, search teams, canines trained. Is this something that is going to have to be financed some way?
I'm using the GoFundMe. I've been using everything that's coming in so that I can finance what I can.
And at this point, because it's been 2 months, do you feel like the support is still out there from the public? Is it dying down at all? Because we don't want it to die down.
Sebastian's army is strong. People want my son found. And
Yes,
every
we
day
do.
I wake up, God has made sure that I have woken up. My goal is to find my son, and he knows it.
Seth, appreciate you coming on tonight. I know you're extremely busy, but I wanted to make sure everyone knew about Light the Path for Sebastian on the 26th. It's going to be a big crowd. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, and our thoughts are with you.
I am currently working on another vigil as well. I should know soon if I'll be able to have it.
Thanks. Thanks so much, Seth.
Okay. So, seems like that vigil was so long ago. I remember watching it. Have they given any updates to the mother? You know, Rosebud, we don't know. Katie and Chris have gone silent, right? So we don't know if they're giving updates. They were before. They were talking to her and Chris and not Seth. So I don't know. And you said his hair was kind of long at TRH, in your opinion. So why don't we look at that real quickly? I've got that queued up. So here was a picture. I've just got the 2 pictures, but they're both kind of, because I think the one on the left was pretty recent as well, right? Looks pretty similar, right? So let's take a look. I will present my screen and we'll look back at that video from Nick real quickly. And see how long his hair was. Yeah. Looks pretty close, don't it? When you look right there, it's coming down about the same length, right? Onto the forehead. Wonder if I can. No, I can't. But yeah, it looks like it comes down pretty long onto the forehead. In my opinion, what do you guys think? Hello, Karen. Good to see you again. I know Catamore. Is Catamore? Is that how you say that? We're all here at Granny's Crime Busters. We are hoping for Christmas, believing he'll be home by Christmas. Right? It would have made things. That didn't last very long at all. Was it even a week, guys? I don't know. So Karen, you're from Massachusetts. This case is near and dear to my heart. That's why I'm on every night talking about it. And K9, you think it looks about the same? I do too. So it seems like that picture would have been, wow, and you can look at that, guys. On his neck. It's more pronounced on this picture. I don't think that people getting this picture would be messing and making it look the same on all the pictures. I don't know. Or touching it up or anything. That just doesn't look good to me. But yeah, his hair looks the same on all these pictures, in my opinion. The left was his birthday in December. Gotcha. Okay. Okay, Rosebud. So, yeah, I mean, I hate to think, and we know that there was 5 CPS reports from that home in the last 2 years, which makes me just want to cry, right? But so it just hurts my heart to think that somebody would have grabbed him around the throat like that. That's just awful. If indeed that is a bruise, speculation. Remember, speculation, is not facts. We're just throwing things out there because we're trying to figure out what happened, Yes. Yes. There's a whole other story to that as well. But they did, I guess Sebastian and Faith talked all the time on the phone, which I thought was awesome. They FaceTimed, according to Seth. So that was awesome. So the next video that we were going to look at, did the stepdad approve the search? I'm not sure what you're talking about. He wouldn't really have any say over the search. I don't think. Show the others again? What others? We were talking about so much stuff. So what others? I'll be happy to show you guys anything you want. The eyebrows are much darker and thicker on the optimism picture. He's growing as a young man fast since December 2023. Yes, he really has. Oh, well, let me put that up again. Yeah. Yeah, his eyebrows are thicker, aren't they? He wasn't when he's smiling, he looks younger. Do you guys feel that? Because he wasn't smiling much in the picture on the left. Kind of a smirk almost, right? Naughty little smirk. I like that. I just think he was just a cutie. Um, yeah, he wasn't smiling much on that left side, but on the optimism picture, he's really smiling. So, uh, all right. Oh, yeah. Um, I don't know. I know that Chris has said that canines have been on the property, but I don't know that he let um I don't know for sure that he let Seth's people onto the property. Thank you for clarifying, because I forgot he said that. Okay, Rosebud. Um, all right, so let's go to the next one. All right. Everybody see that okay?
Joining me now is Seth Rogers, Sebastian's father, and Heather Cohen, a private investigator who is now working with him on the case. Thank you both for joining us. Seth, I have to start with you. First of all, I can't imagine being in your shoes. I'm so sorry that you're experiencing this, and I'm grateful that you're joining us tonight. I think our viewers need to understand Sebastian was not physically in the home with you. You are no longer married to his mother. But I just want to check in with you, see how you're doing, and if you know anything tonight that you can share with us.
Just know that he's still missing. I know that there's been really no leads that have been shared with me by law enforcement.
When you say there's no leads, are you working with law enforcement? Are they communicating with you?
Not communicating with me. If they're communicating with anybody, it would be my private investigator.
Okay, Heather, I want to weave you into the conversation. You started working with Seth. Why are you working with Seth, and what can you tell us so far?
Well, I had received several phone calls, people asking me to get involved in the case, but I wouldn't do it until I was invited in by a family member or law enforcement. And I did end up getting that phone call. A friend of mine said they had talked to Seth and he was looking for somebody, a PI to hire, and he had referred me. So I called Seth and here we are. That was about 2 weeks ago. And yes, law enforcement was standoffish at first with me. And I think that's just because, they had some, Seth can be hard to deal with because he's going through a lot right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a lot of trauma. So what can you tell us so far about your investigation? What have you learned? What were the circumstances of the home, of his mother, of his stepdad, the thud that they heard?
Well, I can tell you that from my investigation, I believe that this is a domino effect of events. I believe that we have to go all the way back to probably December and January are going to be key months. There are a lot of events. There was a lot of turmoil surrounding Sebastian. We know that Chris Proudfoot was in the middle of a custody battle with his ex-wife. We know that the daughter did visit over Christmas break. We know that Sebastian was with Seth during that time. We know that that there was a DCS referral in, I believe, February to the Stafford home. That call was likely determined to be unfounded because the case was closed and that file is restricted at this time. I know Seth has tried to find out more about that call and he has been unsuccessful in doing so. But I've also recently learned that there may have been some talk about Chris leaving Katie. And I feel that that probably had something to do with Sebastian. So there may have been some trouble in paradise. To me, these are all things that need to be considered. Could these things have led up to maybe Sebastian just feeling a certain kind of way,
Right.
and leaving, you know, if
Wow, guys. Now think about all that she has talked about there and how much more we know now. You know, she doesn't know about the 5 CPS reports and the last one being open. She heard about one that apparently was unfounded. Does that mean there were 6? I don't know. Or was there one of those that was, I don't know. I don't know. So, you know, we know so much more now than what she knew back then. And again, you know, Heather no longer works for Seth. I'm not sure what went on there. I really don't want to know. You don't think she did the case any good? You know, I did reach out with her, to her with a tip, and she followed up on it. You know, I said, I don't know how important this is. You know, I just put it out there. I didn't know. And she said everything is worth checking into, and she was really nice to me. So I don't have anything bad to say about her. I do think on here some of the stuff that she said. I mean, I don't think she should have brought up on national TV about Chris being in a custody dispute for Faith. That has nothing to do with Sebastian being missing that we're aware of. You know, I think there's just, you know, if it plays a role, maybe that stuff should have been kept under the vest. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how good she was or wasn't. I don't really know. Obviously, Dog and Nick found out way more than she knew about, right? So I also have to wonder, you know, when they said that law enforcement, was it Nick Barris that I read about last night, said that law enforcement knew about all this stuff before. How do we know that? You know, did they really? They're not going to tell us, right? They're not going to tell us what they knew and what they didn't know. All right, let's continue.
if he overheard a conversation between Chris and Katie where Chris is saying he can't deal with it anymore, he's out, whatever, you know, that
Right.
could have been motivation for Sebastian to just leave.
Seth, I want to bring you back into the conversation. Was Sebastian safe at his mother's home?
I've heard some things. I have mixed feelings about that.
Were you addressing it with your former wife?
Information that has been brought to my attention has been information received since Sebastian has left.
And the morning after he left, what happened in the home? Can you answer that?
I know that I received a phone call on my cell phone that I didn't get until I got off of work. Everything else would be law enforcement or speaking to Grace Proudfoot to figure out what happened.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find News
Okay.
Nation on your.
So, I don't think we were reminded of anything other than about how we now know so much more, you know. The fact I'm encouraged that Craddock did come out and say something, and that was today. He reported it through Nick Barris. Actually, I can play that for you guys if you want. Let's see. You see it okay? All right.
Hi, I'm Emma from Cookeville, Tennessee.
Hello, my name
Tennessee.
is Hopkinsville, Kentucky. Good morning, sunshine.
The Amber Alert remains active, and now nearly 10 months after Sebastian Rogers disappeared, those leading the search effort say no one is giving up.
It's not a cold case. It's an active and ongoing investigation.
Sumner County Sheriff Eric Craddock has been on the case since Sebastian disappeared from his Hendersonville home back on February 26th. Since then, hundreds of tips have been investigated, and to date, there still have been no confirmed sightings. In that vacuum, rumors continue to run rampant online from less than credible sources.
Well, it's real easy to sit on social media and make those comments.
Sheriff Craddock says investigators deal with facts, seeking evidence and hard leads. There have been few official updates in recent months, but the sheriff says investigators meet weekly about the case.
I've been pretty transparent. There is some information that's just not releasable, right? And that's only because any information released could be prejudicial to the case. And a successful resolution is my ultimate goal.
There's not a day that doesn't go by that I don't think about Sebastian.
EMA Director Ken Widener has headed up search efforts around Sebastian's home and beyond from the very beginning, and it is his team that stands ready to act on any credible lead that comes from the tip line.
We have K-9 on standby. We have search teams on standby. We've got drones ready to go, and we go.
The question of what happened to Sebastian very much still remains open, and to date, nothing has been ruled out, including the possibility of foul play. And on that note, District Attorney Ray Whitley tells me he gets updates on the case nearly every week, and he does stand ready to prosecute if it ever comes to that. Nick Barris, News Channel 5.
All right. So there you have it. You could tell that Nick, was that his name? No, Craddock. Dreaming of Blue Skies. Hello, hello. Good to see you. Is not happy with social media. Not at all. And I think he knows, that as a whole, we've taken a look at the job that they did. In my opinion, they did not do what they were supposed to do. They did not shut that home down like they should have. They shouldn't have been letting people walk through there. That should have been treated like a crime scene from the beginning. And they didn't. Forensics and all that stuff wasn't done until later on. So I just don't understand, why they dropped the ball other than, being friends with the Proudfoots. Is that a possibility? We have to look at all that, and he can think what he wants about social media, but we have not allowed this case to go cold. It's us that haven't allowed it to go cold. We're keeping Sebastian's name out there, for the better or for the worse, okay? Are some people doing right by Sebastian? I don't know. I know that there's a lot of drama in this case, right? Always is. This is one of the worst cases that I've seen since I've started watching true crime, for all the drama that's been happening. And that's why we don't allow it in here, because I don't want to be a part of that. You know, I want to stick to the facts. I want to see what we can discover. I want to do some crime busting. That's my goal. But yeah, so he's not happy, you know, with social media. But on the flip side, he should have been giving regular updates, and he should have talked to Seth between April and now. And he hadn't. He hadn't been talking to Seth at all. So, no reason for that. It is, Victoria. It's crazy. There's been a lot that goes on. There's so much behind the scenes that happens. I can't even tell you. It's disheartening, you know. And I think everybody in this case is like scared. You know, we want to put Sebastian's name out there, but it seems like no matter what you do, someone comes after you, right? And that's sad, guys. That's just really sad, you know. People need to do critical thinking and think with their brains. What, you know, and most of it's common sense, right? You know, given, just for example, that picture that I showed. So we don't know. We don't know if that's a bruise. It looks like it. I hope it's not. We don't know that. Green hoodie guy. We don't know how important he is to the case. We don't know if he's involved in something nefarious, right? We don't know that. We don't know that at all. But we do know that he hasn't come forward. Has he come forward to law enforcement and they've told him not to, you know, say anything? That could be a possibility. Could very well be. You know, Rosebud, that's true. So much speculation. One sees this in a video, one sees that, and it's exhausting. You know, that is so true. I never thought about it like that. You bring up a really good point. K9 says, Nick's been quiet for a couple of days. Makes you wonder what's next. They've been great. They have been, you know. And I honestly, here are my thoughts. I could be wrong. You know, it's my opinion. But I honestly feel since Nick and Dog have come on the case, that has made Sheriff Craddock and Sumner County to step up to the plate. Because Nick and Dog are exposing things, right? They're digging up things and they're finding things that none of us ever knew, right? And so, yeah, it's just, if you think about it, that I think they got scared, right? A lot of people don't like Dog. That's fine. But do you know he's found over 10,000 fugitives, guys? And maybe some just don't like the way he presents himself. That's fine. But you gotta admit, he's got the resources. And so does At Night Intelligence Agency, which Nick's a part of. So they came in, they were way behind the ball, right? I mean, look at how long before they were able to come in. But they came in, and man, things started happening. So I think it forced Sumner County to take a look at themselves. You know, to me, that video of Craddock today, he was only speaking out because he felt forced to. Did it seem to you like he wanted to? I don't think so. And his face when he talked about social media, if looks could kill, and has social media, maybe gone too far in this case? Probably. Most likely, right? Most likely. I saw it a little bit in the beginning, the Brian Koberger Idaho 4 case, before they arrested Brian Koberger. Oh my goodness. Wasn't there a hoodie guy in that case too? Now that I think about it, I think there is. I think there was. They were, yeah, and that's one thing that I don't agree with. You have to look at things sensibly, and for example, the green hoodie guy is a really good example of what I'm talking about. So if you look at it from that angle, that, okay, let's look at it. What happened? Did I see an exchange? No, I didn't. Maybe other people can see it. I can't. But it's okay to say that. We don't know what went down between Green Hoodie Guy and Katie, right? We don't know. I do think, when we look at the guy with the blue gloves on and the yellow guy were both staring over there, so whatever was going on, I think, was loud enough for them to hear, that made the guy in the yellow turn around. So something was going on there. But if you look at that, it still doesn't, were they laughing? I mean, sometimes people, I don't know, does Katie have a loud laugh? They were looking for a little while, though. I don't know. But we can look at things, we can speculate, but overall, concerning Green Hoodie Guy, he should be talked to by authorities, definitely, because he was one of the last ones. But we don't know that anything nefarious happened there. We don't know. Chris Watts, that was a circus. On social media, Rosebud, I don't think, I wasn't watching true crime back then. I mean, I did keep up on the case somewhat, but I don't think I was on YouTube back then. Hello, SRB. Good to see you. But yeah, I mean, it's like people need to think of things logically, factually, and we can't try to push our own agenda, right? We can't make things fit to what we want to happen. What do I want to happen? I want Sebastian home. That's what I want. So, if I'm talking about the case every day and I bring out the facts of the case every day and we speculate a little bit to try to figure out what's going on, that's okay, as long as we say, in my opinion, allegedly, we are, we're just trying to figure this out. So, Rosebud, really? I didn't know that. That's interesting. Yeah, I wasn't back on YouTube back then, so I just kind of watched the news on that one, which, oh, you know what? After being on YouTube and getting all the nitty gritty of everything, I don't. The news is kind of the last place I go to look at stuff now. That's horrible, isn't it? It's horrible. I shouldn't say it's the last place because I do Google to see, what is there something new going on. I'm still concerned about the Emma Baum case. 9 months pregnant, missing from Gary, Indiana. There's been no news. Everything's been silent there. Suzanne Simpson, yes, her husband's been charged with murder. Whoops, I said a word. But she hasn't been found, and that's so sad, So I do Google the news for those kinds of things. I don't watch the news, Victoria, at all. You can ask Brenda Joe. I never have my TV on. Right. I am happy to finally see the video. It may not be complete, but critical thinking wise, we've got to go back to the house and the last to see him. Right. And here's another speculation. Did he get home? Do we really have proof that he got home that night? SRB, exactly. That's me too. Me too. If it's a news channel, I will say this. Ever since Gabby Petito, there's one news channel that I really like. I can't think of his name right now, but I adore him. I'm telling you what. It'll come to me at some point. But that one I really do like, but I don't watch it just to watch it. I don't. I try to keep up with new things that might be happening, might be going on. Like the guy that got caught today for unaliving the CEO. That was kind of a big deal today. So it's kind of good, I guess. Well, I like Brian Enton too. But Granny doesn't watch TV. See, she's telling you I don't watch TV. Don't know if Sebastian made it home, in my opinion. Yeah, I don't know. There really is no proof, to my knowledge, that he did make it home, because the trash video was so grainy that couldn't be made out. Right? And I know people have said, was the person chunky? I don't know, because I didn't see it. I wish I could see it. Evidently, they're keeping that close to the vest. So I don't really know, but be nice to know, wouldn't it? It would be nice to know. Yeah, SRB, the guy that I'm thinking of, what the heck? That's awful. I am going to look for him now. It's going to drive me nuts until I do. Subscriptions. I'm looking at all my subscriptions just to find him. His wife just had a baby boy. WFLA, JB. Anybody heard of him? JB, you know? That's the one I was thinking of. JB on WFLA, Channel 8 in Florida. He's awesome. I remember when I was watching the Gabby Petito case, he cried right on the air when it came back on the air that they had found Gabby's remains, and he was crying. I was crying. I mean, everybody was crying, but that's a good reporter. Gabby hit home. My daughter was going through a DV relationship at the same time, and I was hyper vigilant to get her. Oh, good for you, Rosebud. It's hard. It's really hard to get out of a DV relationship. Very, very difficult. JB, yeah, he's awesome, isn't he, SRB? Love him. That's where the warrior picker you comes from. Aw. Yeah, he does. He has a great voice, and he's fair. He's factual. He's intelligent. I mean, I really like to watch his stuff. I haven't been watching him lately. I need to go back to that. Him and Brian Enton, I love Brian Enton. Again, he too. I mean, I know he's kind of an on-scene reporter, and I followed him with the Gabby case, and then Idaho 4 big time. But it's not going to be long, guys. We're going to be having trial dates for Idaho 4, right? June of next year, I think, or August. I don't remember. They keep pushing it back. That'll be interesting. Yeah, it's a case that broke my heart too. Really is. Probably the first one that hooked me on true crime. I mean, I was working full time. I would watch it until I had to leave for work, and then I'd come home and I was on it until I went to bed. Just glued to JB, trying to find out what was going on with it. But yeah, that case was so sad. But it, also a really good example of broken families working together for the greater good. And they're still working together. I just so admire those four, I just really do. Do you think they'll use that audio in the Idaho 4 trial? I don't know. I will say this. He's got a doggone good defense lawyer, which I guess, we want everyone to have a right to, a good defense. But I almost think that I think she's almost too good that she's manipulating. Does that make sense? I don't know. We'll see what happens. I don't know. I think the biggest thing that I'm looking for in the Idaho 4 case is to find out what kind of evidence they really do have. Because, they're keeping all that close to the vest. They only put out what they needed to get that arrest. And I'm curious to see how much evidence there is against Brian Koberger. I really am. I don't know, I don't know what's going to happen. But anyway, any other questions, you guys? What I'm going to do is share my grannyism with you. So maybe if we tell people that the brain is an app, they'll start using it. It's kind of a joke for tonight. Because everybody loves apps, right? So maybe if we and then they'll become critical thinkers and oh. No, thank you. Oh, I'm joking, right? You've been stuck on Sebastian. Honestly, I know things have been going on in the Idaho 4 case. Oh, no problem, SRB. I know that there have been things going on, K9, with the Idaho 4 case. I just haven't really kept up on it because I know that, nothing extremely, nothing legally is going to happen until next summer. So, I know that there are things that have gone on, but I just haven't watched it. Rosebud's laughing with me. Thank you for laughing with me. Charge them $199 though. Is that all? I think maybe we should charge them a little bit more than that, Rosebud. Oh gosh. Yeah. I just had to do something kind of funny because it's been so heavy lately with what's going on with Sebastian. It's really tough. And sometimes we just gotta laugh, right? And I'm not pointing this at any group of people, guys, okay? Think what you want. I'm just talking about people who can't think critically. There's no specifics. But so that's all I had for tonight. I appreciate each and every one of you, Rosebud. You know what I'm talking about, don't ya? But I appreciate each and every one of you for coming in. Thank you so much. Please make sure you hit the like button on your way out. I would really appreciate it. And we will talk to you guys tomorrow at some point. Thanks so much, guys. Thank you for watching another episode of Granny's Crime Busters. We really appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to subscribe and like and even share the content. You can follow us on any of our other social media platforms at YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. We really appreciate you guys, and you can also email us at granniescrimebusters@gmail.com. Thank you so much, and we will see you on the next one. Thanks, guys.